This is Indiana in the Morning, presented by First Commonwealth Bank on the voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1160. And time now for another interview segment. It is presented by Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. And we are glad to have on the phone with us right now the principal of the United High School, Kirk Atwood. And Kirk, it is good to be with you today to talk about the start of school.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
So everybody is getting ready. I'm sure that the teachers are very anxious to have kids back in front of them once again after the year that we went through last year.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and you can see it. Our teachers are always great with, they definitely love our students. They're here for them. And it's funny, this summer I've noticed a little bit more of them being in the building more often and making sure we're ready to go. And it really seems like that's definitely picked up over the last couple of weeks here as we get closer to school. And it's nice to see them back in the building again, and they're all very excited to have our kids back for sure.
But I'm sure that all precautions are being taken to make sure that everything is done so safely. And we know that the mask mandates for the buses are still in effect. But I was wondering about the mandates that are in place for the district buildings itself. So what's the current ruling for face masks in school?
Here at United, we are doing mask optional this year. As of right now, of course, one of the things we learned about COVID is things can change on an hourly basis sometimes.
Yeah, that's true.
As of today, we are mask optional. So, of course, like you said, that does not apply to the school buses. So, school buses are considered public transportation, and the guidance is pretty clear that students do need to be masked on the buses. But once they get to the building, then they are mask optional within our buildings.
Okay. And have you been hearing a lot from parents about this too?
We've had a few parents show up and have discussions with the school board and talk about that, and they've them explained what their concerns are, and the board's looked into it from all angles, and I know they've had conversations with the solicitor and all those types of things, and they came back with this is the ruling we have for now.
Okay. But being able to pivot and change on a moment's notice, you were able to do that a lot last year as things changed. But one of the things that I noticed was the fact that with the United School District, you really, like a lot of the other districts, you really relied on social media to get the word out there to parents in a very quick and efficient manner. And I think that's great that the communication has really been amazingly well between the parents of the community and the district itself.
Yeah, and that's something that our superintendent, Dr. Parkins, has been, very, very clear with us as administrators. Is that we need to be very involved in our social media accounts and getting that information out there. We want our parents to be involved, in every aspect of their students' education. And so the more knowledge they have, the better off we all are. And so we found that to be a great way to communicate. Is just our Facebook page in particular, most of our parents are there. I know the kids will tell us that Facebook's for old people. That's what our students tell us.
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
Oh, no, we're already past it. The kids aren't using Facebook at all, hardly any of them. But we know our parents are. And so that's our greatest way to get information out to our parents right now is we put it on social media, and the number of shares, and they share it among the community, and it's a fantastic way for us to communicate.
Well, let's talk about what's going on over at the high school right now. I would assume that things are gearing up. I would imagine football practices, marching band practices are already underway.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Even as we're talking, I hear the drum line outside of the window here for band camp. They're going.
Nice.
Heat acclimation is going on for football, and we're excited for the fall season to get here.
Talk about how keyed up everybody is. As we mentioned, people are going to be getting back in front of the teachers are going to be getting back in front of the students. You're going to be getting back in front of the students, and this is probably going to be, I guess we can say, more normal than it has been. But for the students, it's beneficial for them to get back in front of teachers as well. Have you been hearing a lot from the students for getting back to school?
Yeah, our students, and even last year, one thing I absolutely credit our school board with is, we were here so much last year. When we see these news reports and things like that of districts that were maybe not in school, almost at all last year. And we were, and that's a credit to the United School Board. They said we want our kids in school, and we're going to do whatever we have to do to make that happen. And so that's been tremendous for us. And, I think it was great for the kids. And so we really didn't have that gap that many districts had. But we're definitely, we do feel like it's a little more normal. I don't want to use the term normal quite yet, but it's definitely a little more normal. So one big example of that last year, I think one of the saddest scenes at United High School was when you looked in our cafeteria and there were just individual desks 6 feet apart.
Yeah.
And this year our cafeteria is kind of set back up like normal. We're doing our best to distance everybody, but we are making that slow return, and of course safety's primary. We don't want to put anybody in any kind of harm, but we do feel comfortable that we can start making some of these returns to the way things used to be. And I was very excited to walk down to the cafeteria and see the tables and chairs set up like normal, like I had asked the custodial staff to do. And of course, we provided some additional seating off to the side, so if we do have families or students that are a little bit concerned still, that they can still remove themselves and get a little more distance. And we want to make sure that everybody's comfortable to be here.
So when's first day of school?
Our students come back next Wednesday, 1 week from tomorrow, the 25th.
All right, so the countdown is on. Now, will your school hold? Because we used to in Indiana. I know when I was in high school, we still had back to school night. Parents attending school for the night and finding out what the classes are going to be. Are you going to plan something similar?
We absolutely are. Yeah, we're looking at September 8th right now. So I guess the first thing that we have coming up here at the high school is tomorrow is our 7th grade and new student orientation.
Oh, great.
So that'll start at 9 a.m. in our auditorium. So we do that for 7th grade students, every year. And this year we've had a lot of students that are either returning from cyber that that chose to do that last year. I know we've gained a lot. There was a private school that closed down. We've gotten a lot of students back from there. Many students moved into the districts. We've definitely seen an uptick in our enrollment here this summer, and so we decided that this year we're going to make that open to 7th grade and all new students. And so that begins tomorrow. And one of the things I'd like to mention about that is we do have our one-to-one initiative where we give all of our students Chromebooks throughout the year. And
right.
We've actually shared out on social media, and it's on our website, the form, that any students coming to orientation tomorrow can actually bring back their form. If they're doing the insurance, there's a payment with that.
Right.
And if they bring that, we're actually able to issue their Chromebooks tomorrow, so they will have it for the first day of school, which we're pretty excited about.
That's great. The Chromebook program sounds like it's been a success out there.
Oh, it's changed education at United without question. I mean, the technology is such an important piece of our students' lives, and the fact that our teachers are figuring out every day with this initiative how to meet them where they are with that technology. It's been tremendous. It's truly changed the face of education here.
All right, excellent. Anything else that you wanted to highlight today, sir?
Well, and again, we did start talking about back to school nights. We are planning that for September 8th at 6 p.m. I know we have a couple of outside groups coming in. The Drug and Alcohol Commission is planning to be here with some informational tables and flyers, and it's a great opportunity for our parents to come in and get to see our teachers. We didn't get to do it in person last year, and so we're excited about being able to invite our families back in again here on September 8th.
Now, if the family doesn't want to put the student in the classroom but still wants to get the education over at United, are you still offering Cyber Academy this year?
We do, yeah, and that's something that we had in place, well before COVID. The United Cyber Academy existed. Mrs. Ressler, our special ed director, is the point person for that. So anyone that's thinking about cyber education would want to contact her. Just call the main district number, and you can get a hold of Mrs. Ressler. But yeah, that's an option that we've had in place for students. We know cyber doesn't work for every student, but there are some that it does. And so we want to make sure that we have that option right here in the district for them.
All right. Kirk, thank you very much for joining us this morning here on Indiana in the Morning, and we wish you all the best, and I hope everything runs smooth for those first few days of school. Again, thanks again for joining us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
All right. Kirk Atwood, principal of United High School, joining us on Indiana in the Morning, presented by First Commonwealth Bank, here on the Voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160. And our interviews are presented by Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people.